Hey guys, G Money back again, hitting you guys up with another video. Today I'd like to show you guys something that I received in the mail today that I was very happy to receive, given how rare this album is to come across. And the fact that I came across this one day on the internet, on eBay, for a reasonable price, I was very shocked, very surprised, and I knew it was going to go fast, so right there, in that moment, I decided to pull the trigger, and yeah, glad to have the album. And that album is Tool, Anima. Now, Anima is one of those albums that, for any Tool fan, is pretty hard to come across. Not only is the album very rare on vinyl, but whether it's an official pressing or an unofficial pressing, the album is very expensive most of the time. Particularly those that are official pressings. You can come across pretty good unofficial pressings like the one I have here for a reasonable price. Once in a while, sometimes they'll pop up on the internet, but they'll go pretty fast. So you have to get your hands on it pretty quickly. But if you want to get yourself an official pressing of Anima, you're probably going to be paying about $500 to $1,000. I don't know why it's that expensive. Obviously, it's a very rare album, but it's also 90s pressing, and any official 90s pressing album, particularly those that were very popular back in the day when they first came out, are very, very hard to come across. And when you do come across them, like I said, they're very expensive. But I'm very pleased to have come across one online that is as close to an official pressing as you can get, that was going for a relatively reasonable price. And it's super cool to have. It sounds great on vinyl. It sounds great on my turntable. Yeah, I was very pleased. And I was a little worried about ordering this one too, because I've heard some pretty bad stories of people getting a few of these unofficial pressings of Anima and worried about the sound quality, and then they got the album and the sound quality was absolutely terrible. So I was a little worried about it. I was, just hoping that it was just going to sound good. And it does. It actually sounds very good. For me, the volume range for this album is about 36 to 38, which is about midway. Midway up the volume scale for my receiver, and it just sounds absolutely fantastic. Going anywhere above that starts to get a little loud. So I am very pleased that this is a great pressing of the album. And I'll show you a few things about the album. We got the inside. So you got the artwork right there. Matter of fact, I'll just put it down, show you guys. So there is the gatefold of the album coming with the original artwork. Very, very cool, very, very clear, very vivid too, which is something I'm very pleased with. Flip it over to the front, you get that cool original look of the album. It's a little more generic than some of the other covers I've seen of this album, where you have some that kind of come with the eyeballs on the front and they have that thing in the middle. But, as far as I'm concerned, either way, it's cool. And then you just flip it over to the back, and it's just a generic black cover with no song tracking or anything like that. But it did come with this little sheet right here that did give you some artwork. You got the eyeball, and then you flip it over to the back. You got some credits. You got the song trackings. The song trackings, the song listing. And then you have pictures of the band while recording this album. At least that's what it looks to be on here. One thing I was a little disappointed by was that it didn't come with the other sheet of artwork, which was the Bill Hicks version. But it doesn't really matter. I'm not here for the artwork, I'm here for the music. And yeah, man, sounds freaking phenomenal. And yeah, very, very pleased to have this one on vinyl. I will say another negative about this packaging, or about the album that it came in, is, yeah, the album's great and all, sounds fantastic. I think the packaging was a little rough. The inner sleeve holders, they were a little too big for the size of the album. They don't quite fit in all the way. They kind of hang out the sides a little bit, which kind of prevents it from closing. But other than that, it's really not that bad. It's actually quite good for what it is, and I'm very pleased to have this on vinyl, to have a copy of it, because this is a very rare album to come across. Even coming across a good unofficial pressing of this album is also pretty hard, so I was lucky. So for anyone who wants to know where they can get a good copy of this album. So you've been searching for the album forever and you just can't find a good copy for a reasonable price. Sometimes just check eBay. That's where I checked for this one. And who I bought it from looked like to be the seller out of Greece. He had about a batch of, I think, 5 of them. And I bought one of them that he had pressed, or at least was selling. I'm not sure if he pressed it. And was shipped relatively quickly, given that it was from Greece, which is pretty impressive. You know, also just check on Tool Vinyl. You know, there's always certain things that are popping up here and there, and heck, who knows, you might come across a rare instance where your local record store might be carrying a copy of this, or at least a few copies that are unofficial pressings. So, I mean, that's where I got mine, and I don't know, be interested to hear where you guys got yours too if you have this album. Alright guys, and to finish off the video, I'm just going to turn this up a little bit to show you the sound quality. And yeah, check it out. So yeah, man, sounds pretty damn good. Alright guys, that's all for now. Have a lovely day. I'll be back with you for some more videos. You guys take care. Peace.